Joe Marshall, what's good, baby? Kyle, how are you guys this evening? Episode 11 of Off the Chain with Crypto Blood. And Joe, I know he's got a couple of topics he wants to talk about tonight, so we're going to get to those hopefully. I've got 3 topics as well, and we're going to have a nice night tonight, guys, so just hang in there. Make YouTube great again. What's good, baby? Says Reggie is making a deal in Europe right now. Okay, we'll talk about that as well. Antonio Bailey, how are you today? Welcome, everyone. Welcome. So we're just gonna give a few more minutes for people to get in here. While we're waiting, though, I want you guys to jump over to cryptoblood.io and get you one of those Make Crypto Great Again hats. They just came in, $28.99 plus shipping. So get your hat. I wore mine today and yesterday actually, and people thought initially they thought it was a Make America Great Again hat. So that was interesting. What's up, John Hill? $199, of course. That's where Bitcoin's going, right? Pedro, what's good? What's good? Not too much, man. Not too much. So again, get over to cryptoblood.io and pick you up one of those hats while they're in stock. Let me put that phone number up there for you guys to go ahead and get in queue to talk. I'm going to go over a couple of articles or topics until you guys jump in queue. The number is there on the screen, 669-900-6833. And you got to punch in that code 169-861-119. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it, man. Hey, I just love, talking with people over the phone and interacting with people live. I'm that type of person, man. I like to really interact with people. Get a feel for you. Not just behind that keyboard. So we're going to start, I would say, in another 2 or 3 minutes, guys. So call that number, 669-900-6833. Call that number, 669. All right, looks like we got one caller in now. What's up, Mick? How are you, bro? Call on the line. I'm going to get to you in just about 2 minutes here. Hope you guys are doing well today. We've got about 29 people online now. So, man, today we've got some topics for the live stream, man. I don't know if you guys heard about this Cardano drama. We've got drama in the Cardano, the house of Cardano. We've got drama in Ethereum. Man, we're gonna have to talk about this stuff, people. That's right. That's right. Make YouTube great again. There's no way to really pronounce that, but yeah, it's the Crypto Magna hat, baby. The Crypto MAGA hat, for sure. For sure. So let me see here. I'm gonna put that number up there one more time. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Carl. I used to make beats about 15 years ago. God, it's been a long time. Yeah. And this is one of the beats I have in the archive. I just said I would use for the off the chain live streams. So let's see here. Let me put that number on the screen one more time, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that first caller since they're on there patiently waiting. Let me fade this music back for you guys. Call on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Talk to me.
Hey man, this is Joe Marshall from Texas, giving you guys a call, seeing how tonight's doing.
Joe Crypto, what's good, man?
Oh man, just nursing a Patron 2000 and talking to my man here. That's all.
That's a good stick, man.
Yeah.
Is it an anniversary? What is it? 64 or
Well,
26?
Litecoin. Oh no, I'm not rolling with those big boys. This is like a little $7-8 stick.
Oh, the brown label ones, right?
Yeah, Madrone, Patron, natural, nothing Maduro. But anyway,
I like the 1,000. I like the 1,000 series. Those are good. Those are good.
Yeah, it's not a bad, little daily deal, and everything. But I know there's people waiting, so if you want, I'll just jump right in.
Yeah, let's jump right in. Let everyone know. I was talking to Joe on Twitter earlier today, and he had a couple of topics he wanted to cover. So let's go ahead and get right into it, Joe.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to address is there's a system. You can see these charts at Crypto Charts Joe. At Crypto Charts Joe, I will post it up there so you kind of know what we're talking about.
Okay.
But,
let me just see here. You said it's. I'm gonna type it in while you're talking. So let me just get this pulled up here. You said it's crypto.
Oh, at Crypto Charts Joe.
Crypto Charts Joe. .com.
Right. Oh no, just on Twitter. On Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Okay, let me see. I gotta go to Twitter then. Let me see if I can get that. But go ahead and talk while we're.
Well, yeah. While you're doing that, what this addresses? There's a gentleman by the name of Tyler Jinks. Before morning, to show you how far back this guy goes, before Morningstar took over and is dominating the mutual fund evaluations and kind of forecasts and things of that nature. He was one of the, or if not the first guy ever to critique, analyze, and give ratings on mutual funds. So this is how strong this guy is, and he sold his company off. He came up with a program, or not a program really, but a charting system called Hyperwave, and it's very interesting. And the reason why I'm kind of touting this guy, he's on Twitter as well under Lucid Investment, LUCID Investment, Tyler Jinks. And the reason why I'm kind of up on this guy is that he was calling for the top and was pulling his private investors out December, January, February. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
So he knows a little bit about what he's talking about. Let me pull his.
So Joe, I've got your chart up from your Twitter profile. I think you have it where it's the daily, and you've got a wedge drawn here, right? Right,
that's the daily, and that, as you see, that broke down.
Yeah.
And then what I was saying by the 15th, I posted this on the 9th, and based on that wedge formation, that we would know something by October 15th.
That's crazy. That's the same day. I don't know if you recall some of my videos, a couple of videos ago, I said the same thing. I said October 15th to 16th was when I was looking for, something to happen technically. And we just, I guess, I'm thinking something fundamentally happened there where we took that dive down. Because that wasn't technical.
Yeah. Right, exactly. And I don't know if it had, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but I don't know if that had to do with any of the, lies, rumors, innuendos about Tether and Bitfinex and all that, or if it was just, something else, like I said, fundamental.
Well,
sentiment.
if you think about it, Joe, the markets are, it's complex, right? So there are so many inputs that create a price, and so maybe some of the Tether FUD had something to do with it, but also if you recall earlier that day, U.S. markets, that was the first true down day. We were down 800 points as well,
right?
So maybe there was some margin calls, in Asia, because it happened in Asia zone. So I don't know, man. I mean, we'll probably never really know.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you brought that correlation up. And during the day, I was on Twitter like a fool saying, hey, look at cryptos are holding up. They're holding up. You know, we haven't budged, $20. And then all of a sudden, just like you said, Asian markets kicked in and all of a sudden the bottom fell out. I was really shocked, to be honest. It caught me by surprise. But going back just right quick on this Hyperwave deal, this guy's saying if this Sunday, tomorrow, 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Your time, if we're under 54.90, basically 55, if we close under 5,500 Sunday, that Bitcoin is going to drop to 1,000. And
1,000?
Yeah, that's what he's based on this Hyperwave, charting system or theory that he has. And that's why I kind of built him up in the beginning. I knew that was going to blow everybody away. But I was just based on this Hyperwave deal that he has a formula for. Like I was saying, he was calling tops here and there, and he's called a lot of other Hyperwaves within the legacy markets, S&P 500, NASDAQ and stuff. But anyway, I don't feel we'll close like that tomorrow. But just something to look at.
Yeah, because if I pull up my chart here, Joe.
Yeah.
Let me do that really quickly if I can.
And then while you're doing that, based on that wedge formation, I had around, if we broke to the top, if that big red candle had been a green candle, I was thinking, according to my
70.
ciphering, that we'd be, looking at 7,300 target, and then breaking down like it did. I'm looking at 58.40.
Correct.
And then a bounce. Now, what's interesting is that we'll take a look at that. People there on Twitter on my little deal.
Okay.
If you look at the monthly, the weekly chart, and I posted this, back, a while back as well. That on the weekly, that $6,000 has held like, Fort Knox.
It sure has.
And I don't know if that's technical. I don't know if there's some big money guardian angel out there or what. But have we dipped under it on the daily? Yes. But if you go to 3 days,
but we haven't closed. So I don't think we've closed under those
since November 2nd. I think it is the week of November 2nd. And on a 3-day, you had to go back to. Now that was in sometime in October. There was a 3-day period. It was under it back, last October. But I don't know. Even if we break under it, I see worst case scenario would be the next. Now I had that highlighted in yellow would be the first, low pivot, which whether it's a legacy market or this, 99% of assets out there are going to go to the next support low pivot, and for us it's around that 3,700, might as well say 3,700, high 36, low 3,700 mark. But and then this is the next thing. Let me go ahead and roll in because I know you just got a couple of minutes here. One of the reasons why I think, and this is not technical, I'm just pulling this out of thin air. Why that 6,000 has got to hold. Yeah, we can dip down based on my calculation, 58, whatever. And then, they'll run it down there, knock out a bunch of those stop losses, gather those coins up and take them back up above 6,000. Now, my theory on that is with all these exchanges coming online, now some people say they're going to help, some people say they're not, but they're going to drive some money in here, good, bad, or indifferent. It is going to drive a lot of new money in the market. And for example, the EOS International Continental Exchange, they're one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the world. They're on the New York Stock Exchange, and then also they are developing, they're coming out with BACT, B-A-K-K-T, in November. And the reason why I'm kind of high on these guys, I I read a number of articles, really delved into it. I even know that the wife of the guy that owns eyes, it's his wife that's going to be running the CEO, whatever, of back. You know, so he's passing it over to his most trusted person in his life, you know. Then back before that, in 2015, they bought a minority stake in Coinbase.
Wow.
Which tells me, I mean, you just don't wake up one morning and go, okay, I'm going to go over here and buy a minority stake in Coinbase and this cryptocurrency thing. Goes 2015, it's, you know, very, very few people even knew about Bitcoin, much less,
sure,
you know, all the other. So they had to have been studying this, looking at it, and knew what was up before 2015. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get, you know, get their money together, get their plan together. So, and one of the things is that they're going to use the real coin. It's not going to be this hypothecated, you know, trade in air, so to speak. You know, this is going to be the real deal. And they're going to, and I'm sure they've been hoarding Bitcoin, Litecoin, whatever, since 2015 at least. So
yeah. Well, now, let me ask you this though, Joe. Here's a theory that I have that I kind of developed while I was actually had my guy Drew Karnowski on, and we were talking about you know, he's a CPA, he deals with crypto tax issues and stuff. This came up while we were talking. What are your thoughts about, this is my theory, we're going to see another pullback at whatever level we are. We're going to see another pullback in cryptos at the end of the year, around December. People are going to take profits, or not profits really, realize losses at the end of the year so that they can carry those credits over to next year and the years beyond. What do you think?
Man, yeah, that's a good point. Because I was going to say, the only people that have any profits to show are the traders, you know, that scalping here and there, everyone else. But the hodlers, I don't know if they would, you think they would sell and for a lot, especially if, well, see, there's both sides. If we're running this, okay, eyes come back to the ones we were just talking about, it's going to be rolling out supposedly in November. And then if it's piggybacked by anything else, and maybe some additional good news, we could actually have a end of year, you know,
rally. A rally?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if people would be selling into that, hoping it would run up. I mean, there's still people out there.
But you got to think though, Joe, like, okay, let's say let's say you're bullish on Bitcoin in general, right? Going forward, just kind of more midterm, long term, right? If you think that Bitcoin is going to go up in 2019, wouldn't you like to lock in those losses this year so that in 19 you can kind of you can use those losses against your gains possibly in 19. I don't know. I'm just trying to get a gauge for how people are thinking about this. That's just kind of my thought. I think we may see one, you know, another pullback at the end of the year, man. I don't know.
Well, that's a good theory, and that could definitely happen. Yeah. But when I was doing the legacy market, S&P 500, stuff like that, I wouldn't sell until January of the new year, so I'd have a whole year to kind of know what I'd have to come up with, you know, the next April. That's how I played it. Now, fortunately, I've never been on the side of the, you know, on the side of the table where I'm such a bad investor or trader that the IRS owes me money. You know what I mean? I never been on that side. But,
right.
And then also, let's just, I mean, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or anything, but I'm just looking at my center of influence, people that have put in money. And I doubt serious, and they never told me how much really, but I doubt serious that there's a whole lot of retail people out there that put in more than $5,000. I think the average is probably around 2,500, 3,000 max. you know, and something new like
where
this. Now,
in 17?
Well, in 18, yeah.
In 18?
Yeah, in 18. And then also people getting in November, December. The biggest pump I saw was November, December 18. I mean, I was like a Jehovah's Witness going around talking to people everywhere,
right.
you know.
Right.
You know, when the door you know, I was kicking doors down.
Joe was up and down the neighborhood with the pamphlet, with the Bitcoin pamphlet.
That's right. I was riding my bicycle all over town telling people about Bitcoin. Bitcoin. Yeah, and thank goodness, you know, nobody's come beating on my door about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you bring up a good point, man. Like, I know a lot of us probably feel a little bad inside for, you know, people who came to us in 2018. You know,
right. That's why I posted
late 17. Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's why I posted that on Twitter a few weeks ago about, you know, when are you going to come out of the closet as a crypto enthusiast, you know, and start telling friends and family again,
right,
you know, about whatever coin, you know. But in all seriousness, I think really they need to keep this, I hate to say it like this, they got to keep these casinos running and people winning. And if we take another bad dip, I mean, how long is that going to take to get that bad taste out of people's mouth? I mean, with TD Ameritrade, they're coming on board first quarter. And then you have Goldman Sachs already, Merrill Lynch. I mean, just about everybody out there with any type of exchange, you know, connection is going to be rolling out and in the game. And everyone wants to be first mover, you know, in the space. And right now, it's that, you know,
well, they see, you know what, these traditional institutions, they see the Robin Hoods of the world, they see the Coinbases of the world taking first movers advantage, and I think they just want to catch up. They may not even believe in it, bro, to be honest with you, but they see that there's money to be made, and you know, they're like, hey, we can't miss this opportunity. So what does that look like though in 2019? Does that look like you know, with TD?
It depends on how well I think it depends on how well they market it. I mean, it could put 2017 to shame if they market it right. See, these guys already have the client base. That's just like McDonald's, for example, coming out with a new hamburger, a new meal deal. They already have the customer base. They just got to, you know, throw something out there and see if they bite on it. And I think that's the way it is with these guys. They don't want to lose their clientele. And that's an excellent point you make. And I didn't put the two and two together until you said it. They don't want to lose more clientele to Coinbase, Gemini, you know, and Abra and those guys. But yeah, they already have the infrastructure, you know, the marketing team, you know, the back end people for customer service and everything else. They just got to put the latest best game out there that people want to play, you know, to get them in the door. And by doing that, I think they got to make it positive and, you know, show that people are winning, you know, run back November, December 2017. That's the only way I see it, you know, happening. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I might be totally disillusioned, but I'm just looking at it, not even price wise or technically or anything else. I'm just looking at it, you know, like sentiment wise and fundamentally, if they're in here to make money and to drive this thing, and this is going to be the new, you know, the greatest, best thing out there in the trading world, then they're going to have to, you know, step up and, you know, have some winners walking out of the door, getting other people pumped up, and coming in. And once they get a crowd, once they get you, you know, addicted to it, then they can, you know, manipulate it more and do whatever they got to do. But I think they're going to have to, you know, they're going to have to give away some free drinks, stuff like that, to get people to get it going. You know, and like I said, this is my first rodeo in this type of thing, as far as a new asset coming out, you know, on one of these exchanges. Matter of fact, I don't think there's been a new, speaking of Bitcoin futures, I don't think there's been a new, you know, future asset, you know, on the CBO since gold, you know, 30 years ago. So Bitcoin made a showing, just, you know, coming on the scene, and nothing else had come out there in 30 years.
Yeah.
And then also, I think it has to do with marketing regarding the millennials. A lot more millennials know about it or in it, more open, you know, to this, I think, than even the traditional stock market. But anyway, that's kind of what I want to, you know. Yeah,
man, you bring up good points, man. And I'm you know, the chart here, you know, the daily chart looks very concerning. However,
it does.
Yeah, right. but the as you have on your site here on Twitter, the weekly, not so much. We still got a chance here if we can stay above that line there that you have, and it kind of lines up with you know, what I have here is essentially, you know, 5,900, 5,980 area for me is where we need to stay above, man. If not, it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly.
Right. And with all these, and I'll just hit this dead horse one more time. With all these exchanges coming out, that I think really those guys, that's the last thing they need is you know, more bad PR, you know, more, oh my gosh, you know, this thing's not going anywhere. I mean, that's just human psychology. I mean, who wants to jump on a losing bandwagon, especially with money? People have more pride and ego investing their money, especially, you know, with their spouse, family, loved ones. They don't want to look like an idiot. You know, I put this much money in, you know, now I only have this much. You know, money is a serious thing, you know, with people's egos. When you talk about investing, nobody wants to be, you know, shortchanged or lost out. So that's, I mean, just from that angle, I don't think they're going to drive it down and keep it down to that 4,000 level, 4,800.
$1,000 is man, that's catastrophic. I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest with you. If we get to $1,000, man. Boy, oh boy. I would have to say, in the years I've been in cryptos, man, that would be a tough one right there. That would be
right. Yeah, and also I don't see is in order for that to happen, what was his? I think it was, where did I say, 5,400? I lost my notes on that. Anyway, yeah, I think it was a pretty concerning number that we'd have to close below. 5,490 tomorrow night. At this time, it'd have to be 5,490 or less for that hyperwave to push us down that low. Mm-hmm. And I don't, you know, I mean, unless something really crazy happens, I don't really see that happening between now and then. Yeah. But anyway, well, I appreciate you at least letting me.
Oh yeah, man. Absolutely, absolutely. We had no one in line in queue. Everyone's scared to call in, I guess. So I had no problem talking with you, man. So I appreciate the call in, Joe Crypto. Absolutely. And I'll see you around.
All right, sir.
Peace.
Take care.
All right, people. Man, we got my man Chris Bourget, I believe is how you pronounce his last name, kicking up dust in the chat room tonight. Man, so Chris asked here, because he sent a couple of super chats. He said, what do you think of Mentor? OG, I don't know what that is. He'll have to explain that. T Will said CB for crypto president. That's hilarious. And then Chris also said, what do I think about Zenfin? I don't know much about Zenfin. I think that's how you say it. My guy, Crypto Mentor 99, actually, he was doing his tour around the country, and we sat down and talked. He came to the city, and he's really really heavy in that XFin, promoting that. I don't know much about it, guys. I do know that a couple of days ago there was a little hiccup with, I think, XFin and Binance, and the CEO kind of went at them for false reasons, and he came back and apologized. But you guys let me know, what is this XFin about? It's some governance type of token, I believe. But call in, let me know what you think about XFin. While those lines are open, I'm going to go ahead and look at the first article, because boy, we got some drama in the crypto world right now, people. The first article is it's out of, actually all three of them are out of Ethereum World News. Cardano, man. So it says here, co-founder Charles Hoskins dissatisfied with Cardano Foundation's performance, says, as titled an open letter to the Cardano community from IOHK and Emergo. Charles Hoskins and the lead guy Ken Kodama publicly pointed out the lack of performance coming from the third entity that forms the project Cardano Foundation. And it says here, for starters, Cardano split up in three entities, IOHK, and then you've got Emergo, and then also you have the Cardano Foundation. And the foundation is their responsibility is to promote the Cardano protocol, to grow and inform the community and address the needs of the community. These are broad aims and across demographics and borders. The structure is separated this way to make sure that no one entity falls or fails to function. It would not take down the whole crypto project. Continuing in the letter, it highlighted that additionally to leading and informing the community about technology and event developments, the protocol also needs community-led efforts to go past Bitcoin's and Ethereum's decentralization. This effort can not just rely on technological and scientific innovation, but the foundation's responsibility, according to the post. It goes on to say here, here's what Mr. Hoskins and Ken wrote in a letter. I'm just going to go through these before I take the caller here. It says here, dissatisfaction and frustrations about the foundation's performance stem primarily from, and number one, a lack of strategic vision for the council, the absence of a clear public plan for how the foundation will spend its funds to benefit the community. Thirdly, the lack of transparency in the foundation's operations. Fourth, material misrepresentation and wrongful statements by the foundation's counsel, including a claim that it owned the trademark Cardano. That's pretty serious. Fifth, lack of financial transparency. As of October, despite several requests, the foundation has still refused to publish the addresses holding its allocation of ADA. That's pretty bad. Sixth, the lack of complete and diverse foundation counsel. And then seventh, lack of any concept of how the millions of dollars committed to the foundation will benefit the Cardano community. And then lastly here, the absence/unawareness of any meaningful international governance system at the Cardano Foundation. So, man, this is pretty bad here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they're going to be splitting up? Or how does that look? What does it look like without the third leg of their organization? And it really, to me, just shows this is the problem with all projects except Bitcoin. I've been very critical about Bitcoin, but at the end of the day, I have to say that the Bitcoin is the only project that we don't know who is actually in control, who created it. So it it gives you that additional layer of the community and the public can't point fingers at anyone. And so I really like that about Bitcoin, and we really probably at this point won't see another project like that, because any project that comes out and they don't, there's no, the founder or the creator of the project is anonymous and you don't really know much about it at this point, and where we are in the maturity of cryptocurrencies, I don't see it really getting anywhere. Carl said Alan Greenspan created it. Carl, you're listening to too much Big Weird, my friend. Too much Big Weird. Let me get to this caller though. Oh man. Let's see here. Caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. What's going on?
Crypto Blood, how you doing?
Good, man. Is this Chris?
Oh man, long time listener, first time caller.
Is this Chris? Who's calling?
Nah, my name's Todd. I post in there. I got my daughter listens sometimes. You keep it pretty cool. PG, so that's good.
I try to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you play good music, so I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, wanted to give you a call. Yeah, when you were talking about Ada Cardano, it looks like they got a little bit of internal struggles, and it seemed like you were giving a little bit of credence for Bitcoin for not having that, and I'd have to disagree.
Okay, let's talk. You referring to like the Bitcoin Core?
Well, yeah, Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash. The Lightning Network, a lot of things aren't getting done. The fact that Bitcoin Cash was pretty much kicked out of the meeting room, you can't say that there's no tension in that group. Now, is it the best group? Probably it's one of the better groups because of the fact that, they're able to stay on task. They still haven't put out Lightning Network to a satisfactory degree. But at the same time, to say that Bitcoin it doesn't have any controversy about it. I mean, who knows where they're going to take this Lightning Network thing? You get these side chains.
I don't believe it. I'm not a believer in this whole Lightning Network stuff, man. It's just completely, to me, it's overcomplicating something that can be scaled up in the short term or midterm. I mean, if they just increase block sizes for maybe it will help them for the next 5 to 10 years, I would say. Wouldn't you say?
I would, and I also worry that if you go with these side chains, you're adding a point of weakness to something that doesn't have a central point of failure.
Absolutely.
So, and then you have these side hubs, right?
Yeah.
They're essentially generating transactions, and they're known hubs. So these things could go on to be registered MSBs.
Yep.
You look at the registered MSB status. All of a sudden, if you got an American citizen putting something through the blockchain, they have to be registered MSB. There goes your security, your privacy. All of a sudden, you can boot people off of the blockchain. Or at least boot them from being able to use the Lightning Network while you congest the other part to make everybody flow into Lightning Network.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, man. And now it's starting to me, Todd. It seems like it's unfolding to the point where now I kind of see why they're slow to move with Bitcoin Core, because they want these hubs. They want to be able to really monopolize the transactions on Bitcoin's protocol with this second layer.
Yeah, what are your thoughts? Destroy something that doesn't have a point of weakness is add a point of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
The more hubs and the more...
You're breaking up there, Todd. You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry about that.
I don't know what's going on.
Other than that, sorry, one more point. If you have any thoughts on OMG, Digibyte, and Populous and what you're doing with EOS right now with the problems.
I'm sorry, you keep breaking up there, bro.
Okay, no problem. I'll let you go.
You call back in if you can, and we'll finish up. Call back in. All right.
All right.
Yeah, so what do you guys think about this Cardano situation? I don't know, man. That's not a good look. Not a good look. And you're gonna run into these types of situations over and over and over again, in my opinion. And is it just human nature? Are we the issue? I think we are. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. Okay, Chris, man, come on, man, call in. Don't give no excuse. Your phone, come on, man. I need you to call in. Let me put that number up for you, Chris. Need you to call in. Get that. This is not 2001. You should have a charger at all times. Give me a call. 669-900-6833. The code is 169-861-119. See if we got my man Todd back on. Todd, is that you?
Yeah, is this better?
Yes, sir. All right, so let's finish that conversation up.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about EOS and Tether and Bitfinex and what your position is on EOS. It looks like they got some good products. I mean, they got Darren Larimer working behind them, but as you know, that sometimes when one of those legs fails, it can be systemic in the amount of damage it does to a currency.
Sure. So
or a platform.
Right. Absolutely. So explain what leg are you referring to as far as the whole ecosystem of EOS? Are you talking about Dan Limmer himself, or just?
No, I love Dan. I think he's a brilliant guy.
Oh, dude,
the thing that I'm worried
insane.
about. Yeah, the thing I'm worried about is Block One's connection and their connection to Tether, and the fact that the Noble Bank went down in Puerto Rico and now they're kind of scurrying to another bank. No audit yet, and it seems like the lack of transparency in that leg leaves me for a little bit of concern. I actually sold 60% of my position.
Okay, so Tether, I'm gonna put it to you this way, Todd. It's so big that I don't think it would fail. Almost like too big to fail type situation. If Tether fails, then the whole crypto market is really effed up, man. Like like the previous caller said, $1,000 Bitcoin, that's where we'll be going if Tether fails, in my opinion.
Right. Well, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. Isn't it ironic that in the past month and a half, 6 new stable coins were created? It's almost like they know there's a need, or they feel that there's going to be a need. Absolutely.
So here's what I think will happen. I don't think it's going to fail. I think it's the use of it will dwindle down, and it will be transferred to these other stable coins that are coming on board that are a lot more transparent in their operations. So that's, I think, the more realistic, and hopefully everyone else should be wanting that to be the scenario as well. You don't want Tether to fail. Not at this point.
No, I don't.
It holds.
I don't, but I worry.
yeah. I don't think it will, bro. I really don't, because it's just all perception. Like, if people use it, then they believe that there are dollars backed by it, even if there isn't an audit there, it's just perceived that until the community, the industry moves to a better Tether, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Or if there's found.
Huh?
Yeah. Or if there's fraud found, or some kind of bad acting. But yeah, I mean, what you say kind of holds a little water with me, because, not to kiss your butt or anything, but I listen to a lot of YouTubers, and you're the only guy that said it's looking a little toppy in December that I listen to.
Hold on, wait, one second. I thank you for doing that. We gotta give a clap. Come on, man.
Too bad I was too stupid to listen. I would be a lot better off right now.
Hell, I didn't even listen to my own advice, so don't worry. I didn't pull out everything. I scaled out. But of course, hindsight is 20/20. We all could have taken more money out, but it's all good, man. I was just, in the years that I had never seen anything like 2017, bro. Never.
Oh, me too. I'm not used to having that much money, so it was a big shock to me. But I guess my Ledger Nano S got its war wounds. So
yeah. I feel you, man. I feel you. That's crazy. You mentioned something else though as well. We talked Tether. We touched on EOS a little bit. I'm still a firm believer in EOS. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm very excited about EOS, and I really could talk about EOS a lot more on my channel, but I don't want to be a shill, man. I don't even want to come off as that. So I try hard to not talk about EOS on a daily basis, because I really could. They're doing a lot of stuff.
EOS to me is like having a friend that looks like he's going to be a real big success, but he's stepping out on his wife. You just kind of got to not say anything about it, because you don't want to be tied to whatever's going to come down the pike. That's the way I kind of look at EOS right now.
Well,
but OMG
I look at EOS as, I don't even look at it as a coin though. It's not a crypto coin. It's an operating system. So I guess I'm looking at more so the community behind EOS and what types of dApps are being developed on EOS. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these 21 validators, And I also worry about that. I mean, I don't necessarily like the setup, but that's the same thing when we argue about on-chain transactions with Bitcoin as compared to side-chain transactions. We're looking at a point of failure. The fact that we're getting all this speed and it's going so fast and everything's zooming with EOS, you're also looking at the fact that we have this point of failure that we added in order to allow that to happen. There's almost like a direct correlation, which I wish would go away or be resolved, that you have to sacrifice security in order to get speed. And that's
security slash decentralization, right? And I guess you can say that's security. Here's my thing. DPoS is a unique type of consensus, in my opinion, where it looks centralized from the surface. I think as EOS matures, the voting weight will be distributed a little bit more evenly as more people use it, and then you have more people voting for their favorite BPs and stuff. But I think it's the most decentralized in real world usage, because, for example, with even my favorite cryptocurrencies out there, they're still very centralized. You've got one or two organizations holding 50% of the hash power for a lot of these top coins. Now, people say, well, if they're compromised, then we can all just go to another pool and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's true in theory, but I don't know in practice if it's going to really
reputational hit.
It's a big reputational hit, and I don't know if it will just reroute and everyone will go to another pool, and then if they go to another pool, what if everyone picks the same pool? You know what I mean? So we're back to just another new group of individuals controlling the hash power. So they all have issues. Go ahead.
Yeah, but as this thing develops, I think about the Hinman analysis. Are you familiar with Hinman? He made some comments about the Howey test. The Howey test is what they use to determine what's a security versus.
Yeah, I know about the Howey test. I don't know Hinman though. Right. Tell me about this guy.
Hinman's the director of business development for the Securities Exchange Commission.
Oh, okay.
And he said, is it possible for a token that is issued as a security to eventually become a currency or a non-security? And he said, yes.
Yeah.
If the centralization is taken out of the hands of a few, and you can look this up, I think it's called When Howey Met Plastic or something like that, something silly. But the Hinman analysis said, yes, it can eventually become a currency, which Ethereum is kind of an example where the centralization kind of went away as it developed. Now, for your case for EOS is a really good one because of the fact that as it develops, this thing could become more and more centralized depending on which way they decide to take it. But like you look at something like Digibyte that's automatically, proof of work, proof of all this different kinds of mining algorithms, and they're trying to do it without the Lightning Network. I like that. Now, whether they're going to get mass adoption or not, I have no clue. But when I look at the Hinman analysis, it's quite possible that EOS could move its way away from being a security, which it kind of is, as compared to being something that's more decentralized.
Well, I like I like Digibyte. That's another favorite of mine. Definitely like Digibyte. I like what they're doing on the ground as far as just getting into those areas where sound money is needed most at this point in time in the world. That's great. I need to see more other projects do that as well. What are your thoughts on...
but bounce that...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, bounce that off what you said about Cardano. They're missing the funding piece, the development piece of funding, right? With their foundation.
Yeah.
That's the same thing that Digibyte currently really doesn't have, but they're still succeeding on a technical level.
Right.
Does it take a ton of money for someone to say this is the best product out there, we want to use it? Maybe. But if Digibyte can succeed, Cardano can definitely succeed despite any kind of temporary shortcomings they may have right now.
It's all about the implementation of it. Absolutely. Like, I think Digibyte will succeed because they're going at it from the bottom up. They're not trying to go get deals with banks and convince the, you know, so on and so forth.
Binance to go F themselves.
There you go. You know, so yeah, it can be done, and they're doing it. They're doing it the right way.
I totally agree.
It the right way. EOS, Tether, and there was another one. Bitfinex. Let's talk about Bitfinex.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't use Bitfinex. But never have.
I'm a U.S.
either.
citizen, so I can't.
Yeah, I am too. But I've never even used Bitfinex. Honestly, it's funny. They've been around for a long time. I've known about them for forever. But did you use them before they closed the window for U.S. citizens?
I applied to use them, but I never got through. Now here's an interesting thing about Bitfinex. I'm sorry, not Bitfinex. Bitfinex. Starting to mix those two up as we go along.
Man.
Think about this. Circle, which owns Colonial, recently did away with margin trading for U.S. citizens. Correct?
Yeah.
Is that quite possible that there could be a trend or a new legal precedent being set, because that thing is owned by Goldman Sachs? Bitfinex doesn't service U.S. citizens unless they get caught up not doing their proper verification. I'm just trying to figure out where Bitfinex is going to get nailed. I think they might be okay. I think the competition is going to be crowded going forward. So they're not going to gain.
I don't think that. Again, I think it's a lot of FUD about Bitfinex going out of business and all this stuff, man. These exchanges and I covered this the other day. With this whole, you can't do deposits of Tether or any of the currencies to Bitfinex right now. Not saying you can't do withdrawals, just deposits. I think it's because they're transitioning over to the HSBC account. I don't know. I could be wrong. But they don't have a lot of overhead, these companies, unless they're doing something with the funds that they're not supposed to be. That's always possible, right? But I don't see them going under for a Mt. Gox reason. I just think
if they're looking to go with a bank that you can get away with just about anything under, HSBC is the right choice.
They used to be, I forgot to mention that in my video that I covered about HSBC. I followed that whole situation. And
2013, Mexican drug running.
If you guys can get on, I'm gonna find it really quickly. If you guys get on Netflix, I'm sure most of you have Netflix, right? There is a show on Netflix, and one of the episodes talks about that case. It's called, guys, look up Dirty Money on Netflix. And I don't know which episode it is, but you'll see it. It's about HSBC. Watch that. I think it's the Southern District of Virginia really tried to go after them hard, bro. They were getting ready to take them down and make a lot of people over there go to jail. Washington stepped in and said that would be a risk to the financial markets if
systemic global risk.
Yes, of course, right?
Throw that around, and any murderer can get out of jail.
Yeah. So, but they really, I think they cleaned up their act to the point of they're now on par with all the dirty crap that all the other banks do. They're not like that they were on some other level stuff there with that whole Mexican drug cartel and all that. That was crazy. I think they've cleaned up that much. But I don't know, man. I don't think Bitfinex is going anywhere. Been around since, it doesn't mean anything, but been around since 2014, I believe. I don't know. I don't think they're going anywhere.
Let's see how they can compete with the big boys when Back gets in there, and all
they won't be able to.
Guys open theirs.
They won't be able to. They won't.
No, because the big boys club is going to pass regulations that are favorable to them, driving out all the competition, just like they do with everything else. So that's
absolutely.
I think if they want to crap on Bitfinex, they're going to get one of their agents in there and have them do something negative and use that as case law like they always do. So.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I got another caller. What are your thoughts on Tron?
I think Justin Sun's a bright guy. I don't own any Tron. I don't know. That's not a coin that I own. It's not a coin that I follow.
Okay, gotcha. No problem, man. Well, Todd, thank you for the call.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Anytime.
All right, bud.
All right. Calling the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. What's good?
Hi, how you doing? How you doing?
Good, good. Who's calling in?
Rob from the Truth Behind Lies.
Rob, what's going on, brother?
Not much. How you doing?
Good, man. Good.
Those two callers were pretty good.
Yeah, good conversation.
Yeah.
Joe, the crypto went over on his minutes though. He's gonna owe the cell phone company a lot of money. What did you call in for tonight though?
I was thinking about like why maybe we're just having kind of like a lot of like sideways action. You know, we're kind of staying in like a window where, you know, it's not breaking out, but we're really bouncing off that like 6,000 mark, like you were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think a lot of it, we're having trouble with like point of entry, right? Because we can't, like, I don't know about everybody else, but like I have two different banks, and neither one of them I can buy in.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
So, I mean, is it maybe like we're having the people that are in it, and maybe why we have a lot of just sideways action is because the people that got in when it was the hysteria hit, or we just have the same people in. We're all just kind of trading back and forth as opposed to like new money coming in, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're saying there's no buyers, basically, no bid under the market. Everyone sold that wanted to sell, and now we're just kind of in limbo. Is that what you're saying?
I guess because it's kind of hard. It's hard to, you know, how you get the new money to come in. You know, if you can't buy in unless you're a miner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do you get into the market? I mean, I try and talk to as many people about cryptos as I can, and obviously there's not many people that, if they have heard of it, they don't understand it. Right, so
that's the biggest hurdle, and I have this debate with individuals all the time. The reason why we're not at the adoption that we think us in the crypto space think we should be is because people don't understand money. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't understand what's wrong with the current system. So why the hell would they go and buy something else called, you know, a new form of money? They wouldn't do that. There's no urgency to do that.
Yeah, people absolutely like don't understand money, current money for sure.
Right.
They don't understand currencies are, you know, currencies in other countries are collapsing. They don't understand, and they don't understand what's going on and how it has to do with the dollar and stuff. They don't get that. So how can they now somehow use something new? You know, I read an article, and only 55% of the world uses email.
Oh, are you serious? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that tidbit.
Yeah.
55% of the world. So how the hell we expect somebody to use Bitcoin?
Right. That's my, you know what I mean? So like now how are we gonna, I think we've been very lucky because we've been so far ahead, and then it's hard. I mean, the fact that I feel like that we kind of been holding fast where we are, we've been pretty lucky too. If you think about that, 55% of people only use email. That's a crazy number. Man,
you gotta send me a link on that one, bro. Drop that in the chat room. That's crazy.
I will.
55.
Yeah,
actually, that's actually not crazy, man. You gotta remember, this is another thing, man. We are so skewed in our reality in the first world. There are billions and billions of people that are below poverty. Like they are just like. You know what I mean? They're looking for food. They got flies on their belly, and worms, and you know, like that situation going on for almost the majority of the world. So yeah, that makes sense, man.
I think, and I mean, look at Apple and all those companies came into be. How long it took for them to get up and running, and where they actually made a profit and their stock went up. I mean, it took them forever.
Yeah,
you know. If we simulate it, if you want to simulate it to something that in the past, that would make sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that last year when it went up so much, just kind of like put everybody in a fury. And now we're all kind of like sitting back and hoping for the best.
Sure. Absolutely, man. Well, I appreciate the call in. I got another caller, man. Make sure you call in. Make sure you hit that like button too. Thanks, bro.
I did already.
All righty, man. Thank you. Call on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
This is Raj. What's going on, Crypto Blood?
What's up, man?
Not too much. I've been the one talking about this. I've been the one posting about the October 24th.
What's that now?
October 24th.
October 24th. Refresh my mind. Oh, in my video
in the chat,
comments.
On the comments.
Yeah, my videos. Okay, let's talk about this, man.
Just a little wild guess. Just a little saying that says, where does it go? It goes, millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. And just in this market, nobody knows what's going on.
Nah, no one really knows, man. Don't listen to anyone that says, they know for sure what's going to happen. No one does.
But I think it's just about to be like a little situation back in, what was it, like around, what was the end of July, where we had a little pop in the market.
Okay.
And I think one of those is going to happen on that day. Or around
that
time.
Why? Give me some evidence.
It's just a full moon that day. So
it's a full moon.
Just a little, just more speculation, man. More speculation.
Absolutely. And you know what? I can't even knock it, because a person that has lines all drawn over the charts and sine waves and Fibonacci's probably wrong too.
Yeah.
So you'll just be as wrong as them. It won't even matter.
Yeah. But it's also it's a Gartley pattern on the day chart for Bitcoin.
Is it? Okay.
It's still valid all year.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about major moves. I will say this though: when you have multiple points or data technical points that line up, that you do see huge moves. For sure. So, the people that follow astrology, the people that use Gantt, whatever system you're talking about, if their signal in the astrology, and then you got the we can't use RV because they just repeat, they just do the same. They say every week is going to be something new, but technical analysis people, if all that lines up, then yeah, it's kind of like it all lines up and it'll shoot up to the moon. But who knows, man?
Yeah, but I'm just looking for a run up to around the 9,000 and 13,000, and then I'm predicting it's gonna be like another sell off. So that's all I wanted to share.
All right, man. I appreciate the call in. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, now. All right, people. Hit that line, 669-900-6833. I'm going to go for another half an hour or so. So make sure you get that call in if you want to call me and chat about anything. But let's go ahead and go to this next article, guys. And this one is also out of Ethereum World News. And this is what I've been telling you guys, why I have not been confident about Ethereum's upgrades to Casper and all of the promises that they're promoting here. These are huge tasks to do while the engine is running. That's one thing. I heard this analogy somewhere. Doing upgrades to a blockchain or a project, a platform, while it's running is extremely hard and stressful. It's like trying to make changes to an engine in a car while it's running. It's very hard. So this article is talking about another delay in the Constantinople upgrade that was supposed to go out this year, actually in November. And so they tried to actually do the upgrade on the test network for Ethereum, and they couldn't get the new version. The miners didn't go with it, and the reason why the miners, I think, didn't adopt this new update on the test network was because it basically cut their profits in half or in 2/3. It cut their in 1/3. I think it cut it by 1/3. it cut their profits as far as when they mine a block, the number of ETH they got cut down. And so yeah, they were like, nah, we're not doing this, brother. We're not doing this. So they kind of did not adopt it. And so we'll go through this really quickly. It says here, on Friday during the Ethereum Foundation's bi-weekly developer meeting, the attendees of the call revealed that the plan for Constantinople hard fork was on track for its November 2018 release. And it kind of just goes through the details. One of the things is, again, what I just said, the block reward deduction from 3 ETH to 2 ETH every 14 seconds. So, you know, the miners, they're not going to have that, right? It goes on to say here that per data compiled by Ethereum proponent Eric Connor, the 33% reduction of block rewards was drastically would drastically improve the Ethereum inflation rate, which currently sits at 7.4% annually. Eduardo Gomez, a Venezuelan cryptocurrency commentator, likened this move to a Bitcoin block reward halving event, adding that prices will first dump, then moon in the months following the event. It goes on to say here, the block reward 230 obviously irked many miners, as these individuals claim that profitability would have gone out the window. But still, in the aforementioned meeting, the 18 attendees, which consisted of the cryptocurrency industry's foremost developers and innovators, added that Constantinople was slated to go live on the Ropsten testnet by Sunday, October 14th, which is tomorrow. However, check this out. Interestingly enough, as divulged by Hudson Jamison of the Ethereum Foundation, the Ropsten testnet hard fork actually came ahead of schedule, which many saw to be a positive sign for the prospects of the new upgrade. But as the Ropsten neared the processing of its 4.3 million block, which was when the Constantinople was meant to be implemented, they suddenly stopped. They just paused, right? So the miners did not want to do that upgrade. It says here, first off, as spotted by CoinDesk, mining on the Ropsten test network stalled at the block just shy of the upgrade for an extended period of time, indicating that miners didn't want to activate the new upgrade. And then it goes on to say here, eventually, after 2 hours of waiting, the first update enabled block was processed on Ropsten. Although many breathed a sigh of relief, the fact that there were 0 transactions in the post hard fork blocks were disconcerting, catalyzing, or let's see here, it says developers to call for more testnet miners to introduce stability to the Ropsten chain. Goes on to say here, Shodan, an Ethereum developer at Parity, took to Twitter to give the cryptocurrency community an update on the situation. According to a tweet from the Parity developer, there was a consensus issue on Ropsten, which resulted in a 3-way fork between Geth, Parity, and one other Ethereum client. Shodan later alluded to the fact that the testnet consensus issue, which indicates that miners and developers may not be amicable with the new upgrade proposed changes, may have found profound effect on Ethereum's release schedule. In fact, the self-proclaimed blockchain minimalist and crypto anarchist revealed that an Ethereum mainnet hard fork was unlikely to occur in 2018. So what do you guys think about that? Looks like we're not getting that upgrade that we really wanted. I don't know. This is what I'm talking about, man. I was just unsure about Ethereum really rolling out that major update that's pretty much trying to move them from proof of work to proof of stake. And it looks like we may see another delay. And each delay that they have, in my opinion, in this game may be a serious strike against them, because this industry is just moving so fast, and it may put them back even further with Tron and EOS, and you got a lot of these blockchain 3.0 projects out here trying to take stake over Ethereum. You guys let me know your thoughts about that. Hit that hotline, guys, 669-900-6833. Let's talk about this Ethereum delay. I don't know. I'm not too confident about what's going on over there. You got Cardano, man. Man, it's just wild out here. Maybe that's why the prices are down, because we can't seem to get anything really moving forward. You guys let me know your thoughts, though. 669-900-6833. That code is 169-861-119. So the next article was kind of talking about what the theme of tonight's talk callers we're talking about here. It says here, is 2018 a waste if Bitcoin prices don't recover? What do you guys think about that? Bitcoin cryptocurrency, despite the excitement being generated in the space of cryptocurrencies to the tune of $200 billion market capitalization, or about 5 times that of the popular electric car maker Tesla, 2018 has been a decidedly bad year in terms of increasing valuation. Since reaching a pinnacle in December of 2017, Bitcoin's price soared on an exponential bull run to end the final quarter of the year. Bitcoin and the majority of the altcoin marketplace has seen a steady erosion in price over the last 10 months. During that time, there have been numerous stories, indicators, and otherwise wishful comments made that the bear cycle will break before the end of 2018, with at least one more bullish leap for Bitcoin before we enter the new year. However, last year's all-time high of nearly $20,000 is appearing to be more and more of a long shot as we enter the final quarter of the year, with the potential for another exponential increase for the coin also looking dismal. There have been bright spots for Bitcoin valuation, particularly in relation to news surrounding the development of a Bitcoin exchange traded fund. And I just want to stop there. I have to remind people all of the time, man, we have seen since beginning of 2017, all the way to the end of 2017, I think we had a run up of about 13 or 1400% for Bitcoin. I think even higher for many of the altcoins, some in the 20,000 percentage area range. And just crazy returns, guys. So if we don't see new highs this year, is that really a problem? I don't think it is. I really don't think that's an issue. We shouldn't be complaining at all. We've got, I think, a little spoiled by 2017 for sure. Got a caller on the line. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
What's up, Crypto Blood? It's Steve.
Steve, faithful caller off the chain.
That's right. And I
What's
am
up, man?
impressed with people. I'm impressed that people were calling today. There's some solid calls.
Yeah, we got some solid conversations today. We sure did. I'm glad, man. I didn't have to have you on just kind of stalling for me.
Yeah, no, I know. I actually wanted to switch gears. I kind of like your videos, how you're getting into, like you did the Elon Musk, like you did like the Kanye. Kind of want to talk to you about Kanye.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
What's your take of that whole situation? Because you obviously come from like Detroit. I'm assuming that you come from you're from the black community, so I don't have that same like perspective.
Right.
And I heard you say that, like he's getting trashed basically, like in the black community.
Absolutely, horrible.
I mean, that's a pretty ballsy move, but like I think it takes someone like him, and like I mean, when it comes to politics, like Kanye is not a thought leader, right? I mean, Kanye, like he rambles, but when you're so like well off like that and you just don't care, it takes someone like him to have the balls to even speak out, maybe to even change a few minds. Just to give a point of view, because most people do that, like they're ruined. Like in today's age, if you are a superstar and you come out and saying, "Oh, like I like Donald Trump," which I don't even know if he really likes Donald Trump. I got no idea what's real and what's not.
I think he does. I think he does. Yeah, I think.
I think he likes the man. I don't think he. I'm not sure how much of politics he grasps, but it takes balls to tell the national media that that the Democrats created the welfare state. I'm sorry, that takes some serious balls and craziness. And I was kind of wondering, like when you say like he's getting trashed, like does that mean that? Well, I think I heard that. Yeah, maybe it was Detroit that they weren't. Like one radio station like wasn't going to play his music anymore, huh?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I didn't hear. I haven't heard about that part as far as the local radio stations, because I don't even listen to local radio stations anymore. But yeah, man, he's getting trashed, within the black community for sure.
Well, do you think that like affects his, rap career? Like
hell no.
I mean, like
no. Because his demographic now is not even like blacks. It's more broad now.
White people.
Yeah, like white people love Kanye now. So, but just don't get it twisted. Like a lot of white people hate Donald Trump too. So especially those left wing extremists, man. But it's not gonna affect him, man. He's like I said, I don't. He kind of alluded to the fact that I guess Donald Trump told him to go with Adidas and do that deal with Adidas. That's what he kind of alluded to when he was in the Oval Office. I don't know. He was rambling so much. Who knows? But I think he's in a really, really great position with Adidas now. He doesn't have to worry about probably rapping again if he doesn't want to.
Oh, no. He got FU money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter like what you say or do. So like the black community is the only group of people that votes as a monolith, right? Like they're the only ones. Like I'm pretty sure 95% of all blacks vote like Democratic, right?
I would assume it's
so
very
that's why.
High. Yep.
So, like that's why for him it's like especially ballsy, because every black man that take Donald Trump out of it, like any black Republican is. Deemed not black, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, a character assassination. Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court. He started off as a less than black. A Dr. Ben Carson, a less than black. A Larry Elder at Texas, less than black.
Yep.
And like that's basically what CNN was saying is that Kanye West is, the token black man.
Yep.
And what the double standard to say that is so crazy to me. Like, I would never like think of saying that, right? Like I'm a white dude. But even the only people that are allowed to criticize people seem to be leftists. Or liberals or like whatever.
Yeah.
So like, to me, like it's very like bizarre, like how like society as a whole frowns upon that. But then, if CNN or like MSNBC does it, hey, it's totally cool. Like they can say what they want, but if someone else would say it, basically like Don Lemon and his group's comments, like if you're like another like public figure and not them, basically. Your life would be ruined for saying something like that.
Absolutely,
but
it would be.
For them, it's just okay to put him down, like because he has a different point of view, theoretically. So I just find that very odd, that whole situation. But I respect the balls it takes. It takes some balls or some craziness. I'm not sure which.
He's crazy. He's somewhat. He's not emotionally stable or psychologically stable. I don't think Kanye isn't. But that doesn't mean you can just discredit what he's doing and what he's talking about. I think that
well, he had some diamonds in there, though. Oh, he had some real gems like that.
Absolutely. If you parse through it, he definitely had some stuff in there that was like, right on, man. He's telling the truth, man. You know, and shoot, man, Obama didn't give anybody a platform like that to sit up in the Oval Office. And I pick on him because it's not only Obama, it's any of the ones before. It's all of the prior presidents, but to me it's like I'm picking on Obama because most of my peers, my people, they voted for Obama because he was the first. He looked like us, right? And I think they just got excited just on that merit, on him being black, and nothing else. That was enough for them. But if you look at the pattern, Democrats haven't done anything for blacks for I don't even know when. When is the last time they've done something like that really helped black people?
Well, to kind of change the point of view, like they don't have to earn your vote. If 95% of black people vote for Democrats,
there you go. There you go. That's it.
They don't have to earn your vote. Like they don't have to do anything for you.
That's it. You said it perfectly. Yep.
They cannot win a national election unless I think it's like 92 or 93% of blacks vote for Democrats. So that's why when somebody comes out against the Democrats, it's why they can't be civil. It's why they can't, they weren't arguing his ideas. I'm like, if you turn on MSNBC or CNN or all these channels, they're not saying, Kanye said that the Democrats created the welfare state, and this is why it's not true, or this is why it is. They can't do that because they can't have the conversation. They need to destroy you, and they need to destroy anyone who does that, especially an African American, because it is game over. It is game over if 10% of black people vote for like Republicans nationwide. Done deal. Democrats can never win again. So going forward, if you ever see like any more black people come out, in support of Donald Trump,
man, listen, let me say this, Steve. Okay, so in general, black people, they don't like Trump, right? But I hang around a lot of professional black businessmen. And behind the scenes, when we're at that cigar table, talking, chopping it up, it's a different story. It's a different story.
Well, that's the one demographic like that he won with blacks. Mm-hmm. That's the one demographic like that he won with blacks. He won the, I think, over $100,000 college-educated male blacks. So like that was like his like gem in like the demographic.
Got you.
So I heard that. He even attacked like in his rambling speech. Like he actually made me think that like for a split second I'm like I think he actually knows what he's talking about because I'm like when he talked about like Hillary Clinton's slogan saying
he said for a split second for a split second then he got back to reality.
Well, he rambles, so it's hard to be like like if he is, a genius, like that's not for me to say. I mean, it's hard to tell like what a genius is. I mean, he's clearly successful at what he does. Geniuses are very like erratic. Artists are messy, like you know what I mean. So it's very hard to. He's not like a public speaker. He's a man who's never had to censor his thoughts ever, right?
Right.
So when he talks, like that's what comes out.
Sure.
No grace for other people's opinions. Like it's just him.
And I think that's symptoms of mental illness. When you don't know how to filter.
Yeah, he talked about that.
Yeah, it's a symptom of some type of mental illness that Kanye.
Yeah, but I also think when you're rich like that and you have yes men and your whole life at this point now is yes men, you don't ever have to watch what you say. You make the rules. You do what you want. And wherever he goes in his life, he's in charge. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like, for him, it's a different situation. So.
Yeah.
The last point like I wanted to make is one thing he said like that was a gem is like he said like about Hillary Clinton and he felt like her slogan couldn't make him play catch with his son.
Yeah.
Right. And what he's talking about, like, is toxic. Like the Democrats or leftists, or however you want to put it. Not all Democrats are leftists, but about toxic masculinity. They attack, the patriarchy. Like, they attack males in society in general.
Yeah, and the leftists attack anyone who stands up and says, I'm not with the homosexual movement. I'm not saying that you shouldn't hate homosexuals at all, but if someone says that that's, they dislike it, then they start throwing the swords and the knives and everything at people.
Well, that's not true though, because they support, they support Islam, right? And Islam is anti-gay. There's no way around it. Like, they kill homosexuals in their country.
You saying the Dems support Islam? The Muslims?
I'm saying they support any any minority, right? So they have a hierarchy of victimhood, right? White males are the lowest of the low, and a black trans Muslim is at the top of the pyramid. No, I'm serious. Like, that's how they view it. So if you would say something like to a black Islamic trans person, your opinion would be deemed not worthy, because they have a hierarchy of victimhood that guides their ideology. Like, you're the most oppressed ever, and I'm the least oppressed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's how they kind of view it. So, like, they support, they're very against like Islamophobia, right? But they support, they support Islam, who openly is very hostile in every country and in their religion, towards homosexuals. So they have and that same point comes back to how Don Lemon and them can say that about Kanye, is that they have double standards, and they have double standards that other people are not allowed to have. So
right. No, I agree, man, and I'm all for speaking your mind, because we don't. It's so rare nowadays that you see people actually having independent thought and ideas, and standing outside of the crowd and not suffering from that groupthink. So I applaud that, man. Right or wrong, that's what I like, and I think that's what kind of intrigued me about Donald Trump. He's actually not a Republican. He's not if you think about it, he ran independent the first time. So that kind of lets you know he really wasn't a Republican. He had to kind of switch it up to go that side to try to get into office. But he's he's something different. He's not the run of the mill.
He's counterculture to the culture of political correctness.
Correct. And so that's why I like that, man. And he's not right on everything at all. He's the way he delivers things, he's got a lot of flaws, like we all do. So I just hate that people feel like, these presidents or politicians are supposed to be so perfect when they've got more stuff in the closet than anyone. So
well, that's how they have portrayed it to society forever. That, oh, look at our brave leader, look at our this and that. But the problems with the whole system, it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's like we're all like a pack of wild animals, and we got to have one leader at the top. But we don't need a president. What the hell do we need a president for? Honestly,
and that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother subject. As far as what the president, the commander in chief, what is he really even doing? Can he really move the ship or change course? I don't think so. It's all a way for us to keep that carrot dangling in front of us.
They want us to feel like we're in control, because they are the temporary government, and there's a permanent government.
Right.
And that permanent government.
So that's why I don't even get all hung up on politics. Period. I'm not like, oh, I'm for Trump. I'm for F anybody else, and because at the end of the day, it's all an illusion. You know what I mean?
But it's more about the culture war that's being waged at this point. That's really what the battle is. like the battle for the soul of America. Like are we going to go the way of Europe, or like are we going to, you know, be Americans? Like basically, because they're two totally different things.
Right.
I heard a senator one time say he had a meeting, and I think it was with like the CIA or one of those groups, and they're like, we want to introduce you like to the B team. And he's like, the B team? He's like, yeah, we will be here after you.
Wow.
Like, and like that's, yeah.
Yeah, and that's true.
And like that's
true. And that's very
100%.
true. Yep, absolutely.
So they have power because they can just wait things out.
Right, exactly. And the initiative is much longer than a two-term president. Yep.
I think they actually said, we were here before you, and we'll be here after you. And the guy's like, okay, I guess I'll just kind of bite my tongue here.
Right.
So, besides that, that's all I really got to say. I can talk about crypto another time. The market's dragging on, obviously.
Yeah, what do you feel, man? Like, did you hear me read that last article regarding Ethereum?
What Casper was it about?
Yeah.
Like about Ethereum like not being ready? I mean, at this point, I kind of expect all this stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I've been playing the long game for a long time. I'm in no rush, okay? I mean, I've already like accumulated like more Bitcoin at these levels. You know, if it goes lower, that's great for me. I'll buy more. If it goes higher, that's great. I make money. I mean, I'm playing the long game here. I don't really. It's hard to keep up with all the news, and at the end of the day, it's kind of irrelevant most of it because it's just so much crap all the time, and the fundamentals are bullish of everything. But look, we're just not ready to even have these conversations about going forward. Like we're not even near that. Like we're just here, right? And like the only thing like that's really going to change things, and it depends like how you look at it. Like price wise, obviously, is the institutions in the halving, like in 2020. Maybe the Litecoin halving. I don't know. The institutions will be ready to try to capitalize that or see it or pay attention to it. And technology, I mean, they're not ready for the big stage yet, and that's okay, but that's just where we are. We're in the early 90s, or however you want to, it's a lot of trial and error, and
sure,
people are building, and like I don't know what to say. I mean, we're probably in the fourth inning of this, a bear market. Like we're probably going to go lower, like I heard you say, and it's just drawing out.
Well, yeah, man. Let me get to this other caller. But
all right.
Definitely call in next week, man. We'll talk more crypto. But thanks for bringing that Kanye stuff up. That's what's up, man.
I just switch it up a little bit.
We talk about all things here. I know it's crypto related, but man, we can talk about anything.
This is an equal opportunity call-in show, people.
Absolutely. All right, bro. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's on the line? Is that Kyle?
Hey.
Is this Kyle?
Yeah, this is Kyle. How you doing?
What's good, man? What's the word?
Man, I can't believe I got you. This is great.
Yeah. Thank you for calling in.
I have to say, it's quite amazing. I've got in this whole ecosystem since about February, and so I've actually been kind of watching all you guys on YouTube.
Okay.
And you were right there, with the whole cliff high grouping. I'm very surprised how many people are not like listening in, because I was like the second person that came on and liked your video, and it's amazing. I think things are really, really dying off. It kind of shows us that things are hitting a bottom.
Sure.
I see things hitting a bottom, and it's not long. We don't know. Nobody knows.
No one knows.
We listen to all the different players in the game of
and they've been wrong all year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, none
and
of
it's
us
okay.
really know.
It's okay. That's the thing, man.
Yeah,
It's funny, man, because people. I'm not afraid to be wrong. That's why I'm just so opinionated, man. I don't even care. I don't care that I'm not right. Like, I'm just gonna tell you how I feel, and you can like it or you can love it. There's only two options, but yeah.
Yeah, but we don't know exactly where it's going. But you know what? We all do know that we kind of know the trend of where it's going.
Absolutely.
It's like you can listen to the perma bulls and the perma bears, you know, and I really enjoy listening to all the guys, you know. It's like too. I enjoy listening to Tone Vase, but it's like, it's like we can't. Nobody really knows, but things are turning around, and the ecosystem is changing to where this is exciting, you know. And I don't know when you got in. I got in basically February of this year, and
I got in 2000, end of 2012, beginning of 13, somewhere around there.
Oh wow, that's amazing. You know, it's funny just to share this because I'm sure there's a lot of people that actually have heard about this. My story is I remember hearing about Bitcoin. I think it was 2000. Yeah, it was probably 2013. I remember seeing just an article on Zero Hedge. I think it was Zero Hedge. I'm not sure.
I saw mine, man.
And I remember looking at that. I was working in down in the basement, building a bed for my wife, and I remember saying, "Oh yeah, it crashed down to $300." I'm not sure exactly what the price was, but I remember looking at that article saying, "You know what? I need to find out about this. I need to know what this is," because I've always been more fringy in looking into these type of things. And I so regret not saying I need to look into what this was. And then years passed, I kept hearing about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And then finally, it was random. Cliff High was interviewed by a guy. And you know what? I really, really appreciate Cliff High because it doesn't mean Cliff is right in everything. It doesn't mean his data is right. He even says that. He's like, it's just data.
No, but he's brought crypto awareness to a lot of people that wouldn't have benefited from that 2017 rally. So absolutely, you got to give him credit for that.
And that's what I appreciate. Like, I even tell my friends that we have a couple friends that we kind of, you know, in this space, and it's like, you know what? It doesn't matter that his data is perfect, but his data might be really, really right. It just might be delayed. We don't know. But man, I am so thankful that I was actually inspired by it, because he was one of the only people that actually he explained it so well, and it just stuck. It was like, wow, this whole the way business is going to be done, the way the world is going to change, it really is going to change our lives. And hey, we're all underwater. You may not be.
No,
I am, but it doesn't matter.
For the year, I am. Yeah, absolutely, for the year.
Yeah, but it's going to be okay. It's really going to be okay, and we need to look towards the future. And
but you know, what needs to happen though? What needs to happen, Kyle, is we need to start actually using it. That's how you become a evangelist for this whole technology. We got to use it, man. We got to use it. We're not using cryptocurrencies right now. We're 98% of us are speculating. We're speculators.
Yes, that is true.
Until you know, I think people start using it, that's when you'll get, if we can start getting these small businesses to adopt cryptocurrencies and see the benefits of not having that risk of chargebacks, You know, I mean, that right there by itself is amazing. I don't have to worry about a chargeback on anything that I sell to a customer, you know, as a small business. Just small stuff. I totally agree. Yes. And that is what is going to happen. But, you know, one of the greatest things, there's two things I tell everybody, and everyone I meet, so I am an evangelist in a way. Everyone I meet, I say, hey, listen, there's two things you need to look at. First, you need to understand the technology. Go study it for yourself. I can't explain it to you. Everyone's got to understand it on their own level. I said, go to YouTube, you know, look things up. I can't tell you where to go. You just got to figure it out for yourself. Once you understand, because that's what happened to me. So once you understand how important this is, that's the first thing. The second thing is you have to understand how early you are. Those are two very important things. When you understand how this changes, how business is done, how the world is run, how just so many things dealing with the blockchain. And we're not talking about just Bitcoin. We're talking about, and we're not just cryptocurrency, but we're talking about how blockchain is going to change things. Once you understand that and that clicks, then you have to understand how early you're on. And I don't think it's mid-1990s. I think it's early 1990s. It's maybe late 1980s internet. That's really the example that people say. So that means. So let me just ask if that is the case, and I'm not saying it's not. It surely may be. If that is the case, that means that most of these coins that a lot of us have these emotional connections to and will kill someone over are not going to be here in 10 years.
Yes, I totally agree.
Okay. All right.
I totally agree. I believe what a lot of people say. There's so much emotion when people talk about these coins. Yes, it's true. 95% of the coins that are probably existing now will not exist in, I don't know, 2-5 years. I don't know.
Yeah. I
would say it doesn't mean those top ones. Yes. Yeah. But it doesn't mean those top ones that actually have real value, you know, and those top ones that really, really do have a real business behind them, a real, whatever you want to call it. Yes, they're going to last. This is not going away. This, I mean, and then you hear about what's happening with securitizing possibly the stock market, you know, like these things. It's like, and there's a lot of speculation on that. It's like, whoa, what if Apple is now tokenized? Well,
that's coming. Kyle, that's definitely coming. That is the next wave. So, that is the next evolution in crypto. If you just could say crypto, because I don't want to say currencies, but in blockchain is the tokenization of companies. It's absolutely the next wave. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, hey, this is an exciting time. People need to just get a handle on what's going on. Feel out the mark, you know, feel out everything. But this is a neat time, and I'm really surprised. I can't believe how few people are even listening. Now it is a Friday night, so you know.
Yeah, it's a Friday night, but you know, I don't peddle I don't strike the strings of emotions that I know. I mean, I could do when, you know, Bitcoin to $1 million. Here's why. I could do all that stuff, man. But I just try to inform people and just have real conversations that will help me grow and hopefully help other people grow in this space.
Yep. No, that's cool, man. Hey, I'll always be here with you.
All right, man.
I love your stuff popping up. Always watch your stuff, and yeah, I enjoy the whole ecosystem. It's just great, just being a part of this. It's neat. I'm encouraged. I got a large family, got 6 kids. And
oh wow!
I'm looking to take care of them. So
yeah, man. You should. You know what? And here's another thing before you go, Kyle. People should start thinking about building businesses in the cryptocurrency, or I shouldn't say cryptocurrency, the blockchain industry. If you want to become wealthy, that is really where the money is going to be, not in hodling and speculating with these tokens, guys. You want to become wealthy, build you a business in the block. This is a new industry. So it's like, you know, when the gold rush came, instead of going to buy a piece of nugget of gold, why don't you go out there and find some gold for yourself? You know, start your own business, do that. That's how you're going to become wealthy in this game, people. I just want to share that with you.
Yeah. Or even it was the people that even built businesses that supplied the gold miners with the picks
absolutely
and shovels.
Absolutely,
you know,
that's still within the vertical of blockchain. Absolutely. So it doesn't have to be the next new wallet, but hey, something that will, and you'll catch that wave, man. That's how you catch that wave.
Yeah. No. You know what? I'm so encouraged. I'm so happy that I actually did finally look into this whole space. Everyone out there, hey, listen. This is a time to really be looking into this whole new technology, because it's going to transform our world, whether you like it or not. It's going to transform our world, and we need to be. If we're at the forefront of it, we're buying into those early companies that. And hey, diversify. You know, we shouldn't be buying into one thing.
No,
we should be diversifying into a variety, because you know, maybe only 5 of the 20 that you pick are going to work.
Yeah.
And that can
good advice.
Can set you for the future. So it's yeah.
Good advice. Yeah. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks for the call in. Definitely make sure you hit that like button and call in at any time, man, in the future.
Yep, we'll do. Thanks, man.
Peace. All right, people. That was, man, tonight. I got to give another round of applause to everyone who called tonight. Yeah. Thank you guys for calling in tonight. Had some good callers, and I appreciate all of you. That's pretty much it. I think we've been running for almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 47 minutes. And I think we're going to wrap up for tonight. Again, I appreciate. Oh, wait. Looks like we got one more person. I'm gonna lock the lines after this one. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Who's calling in?
Crypto Blood. What's up, my man?
What's up, man? Who's calling?
My name's George. My name's George G.
George G. Like Gucci.
My man.
What's up, man?
You said it. Hey, man. What do you think about the stock market? Do you think this shit's gonna crash and everything's gonna dump into crypto?
It's not that simple. Nah, I don't think it's gonna be just that straightforward, G. If you look back since this, since 2008, right, and since the easy money policy that the Fed kind of implemented, every time they said that they were, when we were doing QE, quantitative easing, every time they said they were going to stop, guess what the markets did? They crashed. It happens like every time. And so now we're not doing QE anymore. We're doing QT, quantitative tightening. They're trying to raise interest rates. They're trying to exit this whole 10-year Ponzi, thing they've been doing, right? So I think that's why we had this scare in the markets. I don't know if it's going to just like crash and go back to, you know, crash 70-80%, because I feel like they're just going to they're going to do another round of whatever. They're going to do anything they can to keep this stock market going up, because that's the last thing we have here in America. Like, there's nothing else going on other than the stock market. You know, all the pensions, all that is reliant on the stock market continually going higher. If we lose the stock market, then we're totally done. We're totally done. So I see it dropping, but I don't see it going like, you know, 90% retracement and gold going to 20,000. I don't see any of that, man. Unfortunately, I wanted to, you know, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Well, check out this perspective. Back in like 2008, when it did crash, people were hedging in different directions. There was no Bitcoin to hedge into.
Correct.
So now
you're saying now that there is. Yeah. Well, the market is the infrastructure for cryptocurrencies is just too. It just depends. It depends, G, when it happens. You know, like if we see a crazy crash right now, something systemic happen in the Eurozone and here, then no, I don't think it's gonna come into cryptos right away. I don't think so. But if we're talking a year or two later, once we get more of an infrastructure built for that type of money to actually come into the space, then yeah, I can see that. But right now, no, I don't think so.
I feel you exactly 100% what you're saying. It's not going to be like an overnight process. Mm-hmm. But yeah, in like a year or two, if things keep slipping, and they're saying we're going to get down to the S&P is going to get down to 20,000. That's what they're saying. That's what some experts are claiming.
The S&P or the Dow? You mean the Dow?
The Dow gets down to 20.
Okay, that's possible. That's possible.
That's
absolutely
very possible.
That's possible. But I don't see that. I don't see us like that being a direct catalyst. Again, if that starts to happen right now, I don't see that being a direct catalyst for cryptos to just go to the moon. But again, they're building the infrastructure now. That's why we're getting the ETFs, and we've got the futures. You've got the backed exchange coming online, NASDAQ. All of that is coming. Don't get it twisted. It is coming. So I was saying another 6 to a year, it will be ready for a move based on, negative things going on in the equities market and bond market.
And something, let's touch a little bit something on a fun, lighter note. I'm sure you've read this Reddit post that was like 5 years ago. This Bitcoin time traveler.
Are we talking about John Titor or no, someone else?
No, someone else. That John Titor was pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, it was.
But we're talking about...
Yeah, it was. Tell me about this time traveler. What did he say?
If you just type in on Google Bitcoin time traveler,
okay,
it'll be the first article that pops up, and it's a Reddit article.
Okay. Let me see here. Oh, yep, I see it here. All right. So go ahead and kind of just go through it while I load it up here.
Okay, here's you got to take it with a grain of salt. About this whole time travel thing. But then again, you never know with like string theory, parallel universes, and quantum stuff. Who knows?
Right.
Here's what really grabbed me about this post is everything on his timeline, where it starts off like Bitcoin starts at $0.01 and then it goes to $1. Everything he puts on his timeline is actually turning out accurate.
Okay.
And once you start getting into like the 2019 and then you go to the 2021, the stuff gets pretty spooky.
So let's see here. I've got it on the screen now, guys. This is from Reddit. This was posted 5 years ago. And it says here, I'm a time traveler from the future, here to beg you to stop what you are doing. I'm sending you this message from the year 2025. Things are looking bleak here, and some of you will carry blood on your hands. Hopefully not crypto blood. If you don't believe me, please move on, as I have no way to prove I am who I'm claiming to be. I don't want to waste any of your time, so I'm merely going to explain what happened. On average, every year so far, the value of Bitcoin has increased by about a factor of 10, from $0.1, that's 10 cents in 2010, to $1 in 2011, $10 in 2012, $100 in 2013. From now on, there's a slight slowdown as the value increased by a factor of 10 every 2 years, to $1,000 in 2015, to $10,000 in 2017. That is true. To $100,000 in 2019, and $1 million in 2021. Hey, honestly, I can see that. I can see 100,000 in 2019 at some point, like end of 2019, right. Something like that. 1 million, yeah, because if you recall, G, a lot of people are saying, even on Wall Street, they're saying that by 2020, man, this game is over as far as Wall Street, Fed being able to kick things, down the road and so on and so forth. So I can see, us having a major collapse in 2020, and by 2021, Bitcoin is at $1 million. I can see that, bro. It says here, from here onwards, there's no good way of expressing its value in dollars, as the dollar is no longer used, nor is any central bank issued currency for that matter. There are two main forms of wealth in today's world: land and cryptocurrency. Wow. There are just over 19 million Bitcoin known to be used in the world today, as well as a few 100,000 that were permanently lost, and we're still dealing with a population of just over 7 billion people today. On average, he says, this means the average person owns just under 0.003 Bitcoin. However, due to the unequal distribution of wealth in my world, the mean person owns just 0.001 Bitcoin. That's right, most of you reading this today are rich. I personally live next to an annoying young man who logged into his old Reddit account 2 years ago and discovered that he received a tip for 0.01 Bitcoin back in 2013 for calling someone a faggot when he was a 16-year-old boy. Upon making this discovery, he bought an airline ticket, left his house without telling anyone anything, and went to Citadel. And then it goes on here, people would say, what is Citadel? You might wonder. Well, by the time Bitcoin became worth $1,000, services began to emerge for the Bitcoin rich to protect themselves as well as their wealth. I wonder if he meant 100,000 or a million. What is he? Because he said 1,000.
I think this is where I examine it, and some other people examined it as well. When it comes to like 1,000, it started with expensive stakes. So I'm thinking that's probably like your hardware wallet, like your Ledger Nano.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Like with this stuff, you got to really take it with a grain of salt. But the only thing that really stuck out,
he came out swinging, man. Listen, that first paragraph, he came out swinging hard, bro. That was hey, I don't know. It says here, it started with expensive safes, then began to include bodyguards, and today, earlies, what they're calling our term for early adopters, as well as those rich whose wealth survived the transition, live in isolated gated cities called citadels, where most work is automated. Most such citadels are born out of the fortification used to protect places where Bitcoin mining machines are located. The company known as ASIC Miner to you is known to me as a city where Mr. Friedman rules as king. Interesting.
It's wild. It's wild. Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I just wanted to throw that at you. You know, just have a little fun with it tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop this in the chat room for you guys to check out. I'm gonna read it. It's kind of lengthy, so I won't be able to read it all tonight. But that's interesting, man. I appreciate you sharing that.
Nothing,
that's
man.
crazy.
Crypto plug, man. Thank you for having me on, man.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for calling in.
My pleasure, man. I'll be listening to you every night, man. I'm watching you.
All right, bro. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace. All right, let's see. I'm just dropping that in there for you guys to check out. That's an interesting article right there. I don't know. I'm gonna have to read the rest of it and I'll give you my thoughts on it. But that first paragraph was definitely batting 1,000 on that one. But yeah, again, great conversations tonight, guys. I just want to thank all of you. Again, make sure you smash that like button, please. And I think we're done for tonight. It's your boy Crypto Blood, and this is another episode of Off the Chain, episode number 11. And I'm out of here.